I want to take you back to a summer a few years ago. I was in a flare, the kind that wakes you up at 2 a.m. because your skin is burning and you can't find a cool enough spot on the sheets. I tried everything I had on hand. Nothing was touching it. And then I remembered something from my herbalism training. This organic Rosa Damascena pink petal powder, damask rose, the same rose that Persian healers used on inflamed skin over 1,000 years ago, the same plant that shows up in Ayurvedic medicine, in ancient Roman texts, in traditional Chinese practice, all of them reaching for the same flower, for the same problem: hot, reactive, inflamed skin. I mixed it into a paste, applied it, covered it with a damp cloth, and then a dry cloth on top, the traditional method. And within minutes, I felt something I hadn't felt in days. Relief. Not a cure. I want to be clear about that. There isn't one. But the kind of relief that makes you understand viscerally why people have been reaching for roses for 3,000 years. Now today, I'm going to show you exactly how I made that poultice right here while we talk. And I'm going to tell you everything I know about why it works, what to look for when you buy the powder, and how to apply it the right way so you get the most out of it. Hey everybody, this is Robin from Violet Botanical Skincare, and welcome back. So let's make this together. Now before we get into the how, let me give you a quick picture of the what, because this isn't just any rose. Rosa Damascena, the damask rose, is considered the gold standard in both botanical medicine and cosmetic science. It's been cultivated for over 3,000 years, originally in the Middle East, and it spread across the world because wherever it went, healers noticed the same thing. It calmed hot, angry, reactive skin. Now, research confirms what those traditions observed. The active compounds in Rosa Damascena, including powerful antioxidants, have real anti-inflammatory effects on skin. Science finally caught up to what grandmothers already knew. Now, what makes this specific for eczema flares is that cooling anti-inflammatory quality. When your skin is on fire, that burning, tight, can't touch it feeling, rose works with your skin's biology to bring that heat down. Now, one thing I want to flag before we go further, you want organic Rosa Damascena pink petal powder, specifically food grade or cosmetic grade. The species matter. Rosa Damascena is the one with the research behind it, and organic matters because you're applying this directly to compromised skin. So take your time and find a reputable source. All right, let's make this. Now, here's what you'll need, just 4 things. 1 to 2 teaspoons of organic Rosa Damascena pink petal powder. Ooh, what a tongue twister. An exact amount depends on the size of the area you're looking to cover. So you want to start with 1 teaspoon and add from there. Then you need warm water, just enough to bring it together into a paste. You're not making soup. You want something thick and smooth, like a face mask consistency. A damp cloth, soft cotton or muslin works beautifully. This is actually an old cotton t-shirt, and a dry cloth layer on top from that same old cotton t-shirt. That's it. 4 things, centuries of use. Let's go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to gradually add the water, and I'm going to slowly add the water because I don't want it liquid. Remember, we want it to be a paste, and you want to mix it till you get a nice paste in here. Get a beautiful pink color. You know, once you see that beautiful pink color and the compounds of the Rosa Damascena, that's what's calming it. And that's when you know when you've got it right, when you got that beautiful pink color. Now, before we go any further, patch test always inside your wrist, a small amount. Wait 24 hours before applying to a larger area, especially on compromised eczema skin. This is non-negotiable. Your skin is already vulnerable. Introduce everything slowly. So I did my patch test before that first summer application and there was no reaction. And then I applied it to all the affected areas. And that was the sequence that matters. Don't skip it. Okay, so now my paste is ready. So now, and my patch test is done. So now I want to take with clean fingertips and I'm going to pat it gently into the affected area. Not if I don't break everything. And you want it to be thick enough and smooth that you get a nice layer, but you don't want it too thick or too thin. So you want to get a nice layer. So you don't want it too thin where it dries out too quickly. And you want a good medium layer and you want to put it on there and it goes just like this, right? And then you're going to take your damp cloth. Right? You're going to take your damp cloth and you're going to put it over, right over there, because that keeps the paste moist, right? And there you go. And then you want to press down softly around the edges. And then the dry cloth goes on top of it. So you want to put your dry cloth on top of it and you want to keep the moisture in so that the paste stays active the whole time. So now, this is the traditional herbalist layering method. Paste, damp cloth, dry cloth. Each layer has a job. Leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes. Now you rest. Put your feet up. Let it work. This is not the moment to rush. Okay, so let's pretend our 15 to 20 minutes have passed. So you want to take off your dry cloth and you want to take off your wet cloth and your skin should feel noticeably calmer, less tight. That's the Rosa Damascena doing exactly what 3,000 years of use promised it would. Now, here's the step that most people forget, and it's the important one. Now, your skin is still slightly damp right now. And so that dampness, that will draw the moisture in like a sponge and it pulls the barrier oil. So this is when you want to add your barrier oil to your skin. And you want to add a drop or two right to that area and you want to rub it in. Because once you wait until your skin is completely dry, that window has closed. So the sequence is rinse gently with cool water, pat dry, never rub, and while your skin is still slightly damp, apply your barrier oil. Press it in, right? Don't rub because your skin's already been through something. So treat it gently. Now for summer specifically, you want a lightweight barrier oil, not a thick butter, not anything that's gonna trap heat against the skin. You want something that absorbs quickly and donates to the building materials of your skin barrier so it can start repairing itself, like high linoleic sunflower oil, squalene oil, jojoba shea oil. These all work together and this is what I reach for. That's how I formulated the barrier oil. And in the description, if you want to take a look, I'll put the link down there. But whatever you use it on damp skin. Every time, that one habit changes how your skin responds to everything. I want to come back to that summer for a moment because the night I made that first rose poultice wasn't just a skincare discovery for me. It was a moment two worlds came together. Growing up, I watched my grandmother reach for plants the way other people reach for medicine in their medicine cabinet. She didn't call what she did herbalism. She didn't have a framework or a Latin name or anything. She just knew from her mother and her mother's mother that certain plants did certain things for the body. And when skin was hot and angry and needed calming, she knew what to reach for. She would send my grandfather out into the yard and tell him, get me this, get me that. It didn't have a name back then, for it. I just watched. And whenever along the way, somehow I filed it away. When I started my herbalism training years later, decades, suddenly things my grandmother had done without explanation had names. It clicked. They had mechanisms. They had centuries of documentation across cultures that studied it, knew intuitively. Researchers had careers confirming this. The Poultice method, paste, damp, dry cloth, something I invented. It wasn't something I invented, but it was something I learned from watching my grandmother do the work. And that summer, when I was deep in the flare and reached for the Rosa Damascena powder, it wasn't just drawing on my herbalism training. I was drawing on her. I was channeling my ancestor. And that's what became Violet Botanical Skincare. Every product I formulate starts with the same question. What does this skin actually need? And what has nature already answered? My grandmother answered it long before I had the words. My training gave me the words, and my own skin, and my husband's, and my son's gave me the reason to keep going. If this video helped you, or if it finally gave a name to something you've been feeling in your skin, please subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this content who need it. Next Sunday, I'm showing you the colloidal oatmeal poultice, the herbalist method, not the oatmeal bath you've already tried. It's different. Your skin will feel the difference. The full blog version of everything we covered today is linked in the description. It goes deeper on the science, and it includes both poultice recipes written out step by step. And if you have any comments, drop them below. I read every comment. Take care of your skin, and I will see you next Sunday.